past the creaky metal gates, through the fog-enveloped graveyard, you find yourself on the rickety old porch of a long-forgotten home. Beyond the threshold sits a man obsessed, a tortured soul, cursed to discover all about the Southern California haunt community and beyond. You have now entered the domain of the Creepcast with Rick Creeper.
Okay, we're back with episode 7 of the Creepcast, hosted with your host, Rick Creeper 11. Tonight, we're going to have a different episode. We're actually going to interview me. Well, I'm not going to interview myself. I have a special guest. People want to know more about me and my background and history and whatnot. So my special guest today is someone who's, very special to me, dear to my heart. Her name is Krystale Noir. Say hi.
Hey, Ghouls, hey.
So, Krista, you can find her on Instagram under Krystale Noir.
Yes, Krystale Noir.
Okay, so she's going to actually ask me questions today. People like my solo cast episode I did about my haunt season. So they're like, hey, we want to know more about you. So I don't see why not. So the perfect person to ask questions about me, the person that's always with me. So.
Well, thank you. Are you a little nervous? I saw you wiping your palms. I mean, I won't bite unless you ask.
I'm a little nervous because it's like now I'm the one being interviewed.
Like I said, I promise I don't bite unless you want me to.
Also, the hardest part for me is just starting the episode.
Yeah.
I always I struggle with that and I butcher everything. And like I tell everyone, I necessarily don't edit the episodes. I just kind of keep it raw, like a real conversation. So this is who it is. This is who Rick is. And so you're going to take lead. And this is my episode, but you're going to be in charge today. So.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, Ghouls, hey. I'm Krystale Noir. My real name is Krystale Noir, but if you know me on Instagram, I go by Krystale Noir. I have an IGTV channel. I am in a group called the Black Veils, and I go by Krystale Noir as my burlesque dancer name, model, makeup artist, and I run Cherry Noir Vintage. So maybe you've seen me from one of those. And if not, hello and welcome. Nice to meet y'all.
And I'll definitely put the links in the description of this episode where you can find her on Instagram and whatnot. So everything from her burlesque dancing to her modeling and makeup and so forth. She's a spooky, sexy mama. So. Oh,
thank you, Rick Creeper. You're also a sexy, spooky mama or daddy.
So goofy.
All right. Well, enough about me. Let's go right back to you, Rick Creeper.
Yes.
So let's creep on over to your coffin and see what we can dig up on your haunt history, huh?
Okay.
All right. So I have a couple questions I compiled for you. So I'm just going to start off with the first one. So tell us here, when was Rick Creeper, the scare actor, born? When did you decide to scare act and creep your way into the SoCal haunt community?
So as far as the creep that I'm supposed to be, maybe he started when he was a kid. I'm thinking doing the home haunt with my parents. Well, not with my parents, but at my parents' house. You know, just a simple yard display with me being like this, probably like an old, like grave digger, just with tombstones. And,
Aww.
I think I was like a hunchback with like a lantern, and I was just digging like a pile of dirt from one thing to, from one pile to another. It probably started then, and I think I did it a few times. And I remember when I was 19, I think I did a yard display to my parents' house, and I dressed as the shape as Michael Myers.
Oh, fun. So man of my dreams.
There you go. That's all the tall, silent type. It probably started then, and then eventually in 2018, the official monster scare actor, he took a chance, Again, I'm speaking to a third party. I don't know why. I took a chance. I took a chance with Sinister Point Productions back in 2018 on a whim, which and I mentioned this before, I almost walked out on. And one of the managers who I'm friends with now, Danny from Sinister Point Production, he convinced me to go and audition. And the fuse was lit, and I haven't stopped since. And I was the creepy security guard in the Evil on Two Maze in a Scary Place, which was the haunt attraction for 2018 with Sinister Point. But it probably started when I was a kid, but the actual monster started in 2018. What made me start it, or made me take that plunge, I don't know, just being a creepy guy that was into horror, horror and Halloween. And I considered it with other places and just never had an opportunity. I take that back. I had an opportunity at Knott's when I was younger.
Oh, really?
But at the time, I wasn't very responsible. So I didn't have a car. It just didn't, the responsibility that I have now and the maturity level that I have now compared to when I was 19 is day and night.
There's no Uber then either.
No, not at all. This is Stone Ages. I don't even think I had a cell phone back then. I think I had a pager. This is the 90s. So I just wasn't responsible enough and I wasn't able to get there. I think I worked there for like maybe a week being on call.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my first opportunity. And flash forward, 20 something years later, I applied to different places. They never called me back. But the official monster started with Sinister Point, and I haven't stopped since. And that's when I was the creepy, perverted security guard that was demon possessed. So, yeah.
He's pretty hot.
Apparently, I got hit on by guys and girls there. I was like, geez, I just want to be a monster.
Look at you. Can a guy just creep in peace?
I'm like, can I just be like the creepy guy and eat candy in between scares? It's like, geez. That was fun. That was probably my favorite too.
So you would say when you were younger or doing the haunts at your parents is when the love for the haunt scene came in. And then when you discovered your love for being an actual haunter, scaring and being a monster came in about 2018.
Definitely the interest as a kid. I had no idea what I was doing, just did it because I'm going to do a haunted house with trash bags and a cassette tape of spooky sounds. But the actual love for the haunting and the art of the scare it started with Sinister Point as a security guard. And the reason why it meant so much to me, well, obviously first experience, but that character had so much of me personally invested into that, and that whole persona. It developed over time. It was a generic template, and he got darker and more sinister, and more creepier.
You made him your own.
Made him my own. Maybe a little bit of me was peppered in there, so it was relatable.
Just a little
sprinkle of creepiness was in there. So
spooky sprinkle. Can I have an ice cream, a little spooky sprinkle, please?
So near and dear, it's always going to be that character for some reason. That character just resonated with me because it was me. It was pretty much. It was funny because I would see myself in makeup. I'm like, dude, it just looks like you, with haunt makeup.
Yeah, I've seen it before. Yeah, it looks really. I mean, it's one of my favorites. I think you've done quite a few characters, which you guys are going to hear all about. But I love the security guard. Go ahead. This is your. Well, I was gonna say, even though we weren't dating or together in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
You've previewed him for me a couple times, and me likey.
I have the costume still, so.
Yeah.
It was funny because a couple nights, Brandon was the head makeup artist. It was Brandon and Jessica was the second in command. Brandon would get mad and he's like, hey, can we put more makeup on Rick? He still looks like Rick. He's too good looking. I'm like, shut up, dude. I'm like, no, he would get mad. He looks make him look rougher.
Yeah.
And he's like, did you just get a haircut? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, no, you look too clean. I'm like, I'm sorry if I want to groom myself. He would get mad. He would make me look scarier.
Monsters need haircuts too.
They do. Hey, I can't help it. I want to be well groomed. But a funny story about grooming. I'm in the maze doing my thing, and I'm scaring these people, whatever. And then a group of guys come. I must have just gotten a haircut that day or that weekend or whatever. Guy hands me a business card. No, he's like, hey, nice haircut. That's what he tells me. And then the monster, I'm like, thanks a lot. And then my cheesy one-dimensional voice hands me a business card. And he's like, yeah, I own a barbershop. I'm going to come down and get a haircut. I tear up the business card and I throw it in his face. And I'm like, no. I already got a barber. And he was so offended.
No way.
But I stayed in character, so.
No, bravo to you to staying in character. And I mean, he really was going to try to spark up conversation in a haunt and hand you his card.
That's weird.
That seems kind of silly.
Weird request, but it's just funny going back to how Brandon complained. I look too clean.
Yeah.
It looked and I still laugh. I'm like, it looks like me just wearing a costume. Even when I played other characters, which we'll talk about, but I'm like, it looks like me. And then people were screaming. I'm like, it's just me.
Yeah, I mean, even when we were first dating and I saw one of the characters, I'm like, we'll talk about too. you still creeped me out and you were like pulling my shirt. And I'm like, I don't think he's allowed to pull me back like this. I was looking at my friends like, help, but don't. And they knew, we all knew it was you and we're dating, so I'm fine. But it's still like, it's creepy. It's sometimes even more creepier when you know someone because you feel a little more vulnerable because they know you, so they feel more comfortable. So they might actually touch you or grab you, even though they're not supposed to because you're close with them.
Well, people that I knew, they had special attention for me. Obviously, you and Justin, Scaredy Cat, Bobblehead. I chased him and grabbed him, pinned him against the wall. It took him a minute to realize it was me.
Yeah.
But he was another person that got that special treatment. But I think you got him more for that reason.
Yeah. Well, and also too, listeners, when I say pulling my shirt is because I was like ready. I was trying to leave the room because I was scared. Even though I knew it was you, I was still scared. And he pulled my shirt like, what is it? Like, where are you going? Go ahead. How would you say it?
I think I was like, where do you think you're going, lamb chop? And it's like my cheesy voice as the chef in Dark Harbor. But I think by then I already had Hunter's voice.
Yeah.
So.
It was a little more raspy. And you pulled my shirt back and I'm like, oh, he's not allowed.
I think I not pinned you against the wall, but
you scooted me against the wall.
I separated you from your friends. Like I was the wall. I was the barricade between you and your friends.
Yeah. I remember looking to them like, help. And they were like, you're on your own.
At first, I was like, I just saw, long black hair and makeup, and I realized it was you. I'm like, oh, I'm going to mess with her more. And that's when I got a little closer and personal. So.
Well, let me tell you, I felt like a piece of meat. So good job, chef.
Well, that's
I got to really see firsthand what you were cooking up in that kitchen.
Well, that was the theme of the maze.
Well, good job staying in theme. A++. So in answer to your question, actually not. You answered our question, so I guess this can go into our next question. Why Rick Creeper opposed to Rick Haunter or Rick Reaper? Copywriting that right now. Patent pending. Rick Reaper. Don't try to take it.
That's actually a pretty cool name. Wish I thought of that. The reason why Rick Creeper, 2 reasons. I used to wear Creeper shoes a lot. Like the old TUK, like British Creepers. I wore them for years. And I think I got to a point I owned like over 10, maybe 10 or 12 pairs. I don't know, something like that. Religiously wore them when I went to punk shows, went out, whatever. Stopped wearing them. I think I own maybe 2 now. They're just not as comfortable. It's like, back then you wore them because they look cool.
Yeah.
Now you're like, the hell with this. And I'm going to wear something comfortable. Also, I'm supposed to be like this creepy dude into like horror and Halloween. So I was like, yeah, Rick Creeper 11. And then 11, because the 11th is the day I was born. So it's a combination of like liking the TOK, like creepers, and just supposed to be like this creepy guy that's into this like haunt community officially. So an 11th is just because I was born the 11th.
Okay, so that's basically where the name comes from, Rick Creeper.
Yeah, and it's funny because people are like, "Oh, hey, Rick Creeper." I'm like, "You can call me Rick, dude." I was like, I always tell people, I'm a normal guy just like everyone else. I put my pants on one leg at a time.
Sometimes you struggle getting your leg in one of the pant holes, and I throw pillows at you to knock you.
I appreciate that. Dork. Yeah, it's just a stupid name I came up with, but that's the meaning behind it. It's just the TUK creeper shoes, and he's supposed to be like this creepy character on Instagram or whatnot. So, but it's always gonna just be Rick. So.
Well, it's a great name. It sticks. A lot of people like it. I feel like it resides with a lot of people, and it's just catchy. Like,
I try.
I mean, if you were to switch over to Rick Reaper, that I'm copywriting right now as we speak.
That's pretty cool.
That would be, I think, a seamless change, but Rick Reaper is still really, that sticks.
No,
you can't
where
really
did
change
you get the name Reaper?
Well,
where have you heard it before?
Well, I've heard it because there's a mask in your room for your D&D. Just so you guys know, D&D is not Dunkin' Donuts. I made that mistake. It's Dungeons and Dragons.
So for those that don't know at home, I play Dungeons and Dragons, RPG role-playing game, tabletop games. And Krystale was like, she saw the description of my Instagram, and it's like, scare actor or whatever. Then it said D&D, and then she's a fanatic for coffee, and she goes to Dunkin' Donuts. She's like, "Oh, you're into Dunkin' Donuts?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am, but that stands for D&D, like Dungeons and Dragons." So that's like the funny inside story with us.
The East Coaster in me thought it stood for coffee.
For coffee, yeah.
I got really excited. Well, Rick Creeper, is a great name. Like I said, a lot of people, I feel like I've heard it when I'm with you. People call you by it.
Mhm.
It suits you. So
I guess, yeah. I just
it's so modest.
no, I'm just trying to be modest because
Yeah.
it's like I'm not trying to be this. It's just who I am, just a normal dude. It's like I've heard, hey, Rick Creeper. I'm like, hey, my name's Rick. We appreciate it. Thanks. It's like,
It's so funny. We're the opposite because I get called Krystale Noir, and I prefer that for the home ghouls that really know me. They Krista, and then when I hear Krystale Noir when I'm out or Krystale, I mean I think because that's also my burlesque persona, so I just get used to hearing it, so I just leave it and don't correct people. You've caught that already?
It's funny because people like come up to me and they're like, dude, I've been calling her Krista this entire time. I'm like, that's her real name. They're like, oh, I thought it was Krystal. I'm like, no, that's her persona, like her burlesque persona, like the little vampy dancer that she is. And well, that's the name she goes by on Instagram because that's her persona for the Black Veils, the group she belongs to. They're like, oh, okay, I thought I was calling the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Then I heard people call you Krystal, and I'm like, I don't even correct it.
Yeah, I just leave it.
Same difference.
So funny how we're kind of opposite though. How like people call you Rick Creeper, and then you're like, no, Rick, and then I get called the Instagram name, and I'm like, yeah, leave it.
I get it.
Yeah, but all right. So moving on, talking about different personas and names. Now tell us about the haunt characters you portrayed in the past few years of haunt. I've had the pleasure of getting to know Louis Seifer on a personal level, wink, wink. But let's give your listeners a brief bio on him and some of your other personas like Gravedigger Joe, Chef, and the security guard.
So should we start with the very first one?
Go for it.
Okay, so the very first character I played was the security guard with Sinister Point back in 2018. Excuse me. And that was in the Evil on 2 maze. In the history of him, he was supposed to be the security guard that overlooked this hotel. And then in the hotel, some of the employees were practicing the black arts. They were doing like a seance or like a Ouija board or whatnot. And they summoned the demon. The demon overpowered them and took over the hotel. So the theme of the hotel in Evil on 2 was some people were either fully possessed or semi, or they're trying to escape the hotel.
Okay.
I played it, I guess, bipolar both ways.
Mm-hmm.
So he was trying to help people get out because he was fighting the possession, or he was possessed and he was pretending to help them to get out. I developed a backstory for that character. Just because they gave me 2 rooms, like an office and like a security console with like monitors and recording equipment in this long hallway. But like in the hallway, I don't know why they plastered a bunch of pictures of like security footage, like still shots. Mm-hmm. But it looked like someone put a camera inside like hotel rooms and someone was like watching people, like voyeurism.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, So I developed this backstory. He was like this disgruntled, and I've told the story before on other platforms. He was the disgruntled employee because he was a washout from the police academy. Mm-hmm. And his girlfriend left him because of that. So the only job he could get was a security guard. Mm-hmm. So he abused his authority. And he took advantage of people there. And he was kind of a perverted, like, he was into voyeurism and he was a pervert and he targeted women.
Naughty.
Yeah, and he took advantage of his authority. So, eventually when he got demon possessed, his true evil self came out. So that inner demon he had was brought out once he was possessed by the demon that got summoned. So that politically incorrect, perverted security guard was there all the time, and he targeted everyone. But he mainly targeted the women, but also he would say inappropriate things to the guys too. So
it was like he was watching his prey.
Mm-hmm. He was watching his prey, and he took advantage of them. So.
Very Rick Creeper.
Yeah, exactly.
Creepy.
He was a creepy dude.
Very creepy.
And it's funny because I would test lines like I'm all out to the girls. Hey, that's so not like me. This character that I played. There was inklings who I was in the character, but not 100%. So I'll tell the girls, hey, let me try some lines. And you walk in the room, and I'll say stuff. They're like, don't say that. I'm all perfect.
Yeah. The point is to make them uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're like, that is weird. But the thing was, it's like, yeah, you go after the ladies and you make them scared, and then like the boyfriend protects them. That's a no-brainer. But if you go after the guys and make them feel uncomfortable in their own skin or question their sexuality, then that makes everyone vulnerable, makes them awkward.
Yeah.
So the big meatheads, the gym meatheads, I'd flirt with them or get touchy-feely with them, and then be like, oh, and then get weird about it or say inappropriate things to them. So.
What's funny that just dawned on me
What's that?
too is that we actually have that in common, and we've talked about this plenty of times because Because even with me and like burlesquing, just to relate really quick, like, you know, when I'm dancing, a lot of the times there's groups of guys and girls there. And usually it's assumed I'm going to go to a guy to dance or we're going to pull up, you know, guy participants. But like me and the rest of my girls, we all love tricking and like going to girls. You know what I mean? So same thing, like girls are like, oh, is she going to go for my boyfriend? And we're like, no, we're going for you, honey. Come on. We're pulling you up on stage. That's so right. We actually kind of have that in common. And I just really, that just became clear to me now. So I actually truly understand. Yeah, it's really fun too, isn't it? To kind of fool people.
It was kind of, because it'd be easy to like, another good example. It's like the obvious person who's going to get scared the most. Let's say it's a group of, I don't know, 2 to 5 people, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, a group of 1 to 5. You know, the person up front is going to get it the most. I would skip the first, second, maybe even the third person. Get the one right in the middle, meat of the order, and you scare the fuck out of them. And like, if they react, then it gets everyone else. And most of the time, the ones that are terrified the most are the ones hiding in the middle because they feel protected.
Yeah.
They have a couple of people in front of them, a couple of people behind them, or you can tell by their body language they're tense. I'm like, oh, I'm still gonna fuck with this one. But you could go after the obvious target, the person in the front. Or then to me, sometimes the obvious target was the person in the middle, or you go for the dudes, like the want to be little thugs or like the little hoodies, and you scare the fuck out of them, and then they take off running.
As you're wearing a boys in the hood shirt.
That's right, I am. So that was the first character I played, to answer your question.
After that, it would go. I mean, Louis C. Fur was kind of sprinkled in there. Do you want to tell us about him next?
Yeah, he was the devil I played. So me and my friend Jessica, who's an amazing makeup artist.
She's such a doll. Love her to death.
So creative and such a good, kind-hearted person. She has sponsorship from Scream Team Prosthetics, so she's like, "Hey, I want to do a character next Midsummer Scream," meaning the one last year in 2019. And she's like, "What do you want to do?" So we looked at different prosthetics. Long story short, we came up with this kind of demon-looking devil prosthetic, and I wanted to do something different. And I started sending her like these handsome devil like artwork. I forget the artist. It's not
inspiration photos.
Pretty much. And it was like this rockabilly-looking demon with like slick back hair and the kind of ladies' man. So we just started coming up with these concepts, and she came up with the color scheme and the skin. And next thing you know, she does this makeup on me for 4 hours. I look in the mirror, and I'm like this devil wearing like a red Letterman's jacket and Harley boots and like a wallet chain and a Misfits shirt. And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, okay, it's time to get into character. And he was very, very campy with his one-liners. And I think it was influence of like comedians I grew up watching, like Don Rickles. And he'd razzle people with one-liners, or he'd get borderline, I want to say colorful, not racist. He'd get colorful and just make fun of people. And I was doing that, just razzling people. Some people loved it.
Yeah.
Some people were like, what the hell? Who is this guy? You know? And he just, to me, I want to revisit that character. I would love to do him again. And for those who don't know what he looks like, he's on my Instagram profile, at Rick Reaper 11. It just, he was fun. And that was my real hair. Everyone was like, how did you get your hair like that? Well, that's my real hair.
Yeah, you have great hair.
Thank you. It was just a really fun character. First time I wore contacts. First time I wore prosthetic teeth and and I shaved my beard off for that. And just, I just got into character, and the day went by so fast. It was such a long process, but I had so much fun. It just to be able to get away with like insulting people and pulling jabs and whatever, and just, but the makeup alone was just elegant.
How about those prosthetic nails?
That was a pain in the butt, but it sold. And they were disgusting. And
why don't you tell them the story about what happened with those nails?
So when I had to go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
So I purposely didn't drink a lot of fluids that day. And I think I told the story before. So I finally had to go. And I finally went, I'm like, how in the hell am I going to piss with these nails? So I walk into the restroom, and the poor day porter, the janitor, he's standing there. And I look at him, and he looks at me, and but my hands are up in the air, and I point down on my junk, and I'm like, hey, little help here. And he ran out of the bathroom. And I'm like, hey, I'm just kidding. And somehow I was able to, go to the bathroom. And I don't know how I was able to undo my zipper and all that. It was a pain in the butt. And just, I think I lost one nail that day, but we found it.
You give us girls a lot of credit now, huh?
Yeah, I'll never talk shit ever again. So he was the second character I played. Third character I played.
Quick thing.
Yes.
He is a handsome devil.
He
Pun
is.
fully intended.
He is. Some people got a little weird. I think him between me playing Michael Myers and me playing Lucifer the Handsome Devil, people got like weird. Like they're like, oh my god. I'm like, it's just a character, right?
Yeah.
And like, it's me under a mask. I'm not really Michael Myers. Like, weird requests. And him too. It's like people loved it, but then like some people like got a little weird.
You've gotten me and Nat. We're feeling weird at Spirit Lounge with you as Michael Myers. But the funny thing is, when you were as Louis C. Fur, I actually had Louis C. Fur speechless because remember when you went and you saw us and you saw me, you had no one-liners. You were like speechless
because someone got your attention, which will remain nameless. So when you turned around, I wasn't ready. I wasn't in character.
You were ready?
I wasn't ready to be. I wasn't ready. I wasn't in character yet. I wasn't ready. So I was like, son of a, because I know he probably would have known it's me. I would have the whole time give you a hard time, but I mean, I got you.
It caught you off guard.
Yes, but I got you as Michael.
You did get me as Michael.
I creeped you out, so that was the whole time I was smiling under the mask and just staring at you. So. That was fun.
In Michael Myers' manner.
Yes, of course.
Who knows if he was smiling under his mask? I guess we'll never know.
He probably was.
Next, we have to chat about is the chef, right?
Chef, Dark Harbor, hulking, just big, aggressive, loud character. Inspiration behind that was Tim Jones, who is the chef at Dark Harbor. And just that dude had a voice that just you would hear him echoing down the hallways, just bellowing down the hallways of the ship. And then he just was the most loving, caring guy in the world. I try to mimic his voice as much as I could. I would hear him because he was we float in between positions, and he's been the chef I think for the last 2 years.
Oh wow,
3 years, and he became the head chef. But he was my inspiration, and I would I couldn't yell all night like he did. But he's like, you have one-liners and you're quick wit, so I would fire back at people. And the whole theme on the ship was like, we called everyone meat or fresh meat or pork chop and all that. So I'd have guys who are like, hey chef, I got some meat for you right here. And I'd be like my monster voice. I'm like, I'm not into popcorn shrimp or stuff like that. Or I'd call them like pork chop or like, fucking meat sack or just whatever stupid stuff like that. But that character was fun because it just, the whole gag, like you see the chef once, then you escape, and you think you're getting off the ship, and then I jump out, and people are like, "Oh my god, it's a chef again!" But the funniest thing about that, this little kid's like, "You're not the real chef, little 8-year-old kid. You're not the real chef. He's upstairs." And I just kind of like, "Yeah, you got me, kid." Let's put my hands up in the air and we're back in my spot.
That little hater. Why do you have to call that out?
Yeah, the kid. I give him credit. So
I mean, that does take a good eye to point that out.
Little shit, he got me. I think I just smiled. I'm like, "Yeah, you got me, kid." And I broke character and went back in my spot.
Is there any other characters that we missed?
There was the kind of like
Gravedigger Joe.
Well, how about this? There's Gravedigger Joe, and there's one character I played for Sinister Point 2, which is nameless. But we're gonna take a quick break.
Okay.
And we'll pick it up where you left off. We'll talk about those two characters I played on in 2019.
Sounds good to me. You're gonna keep us waiting and wanting more.
Yeah, I gotta pay some bills with sponsorship. So, all right, guys, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Don't you dare try to escape. The Creepcast with Rick Creeper shall return. Where do you think you're going? There is no escape from the Creepcast with Rick Creeper.
And we're back, episode 7 of the Creepcast, hosted by me, Rick Creeper 11. I'm here with a very special guest,
Krystale Noir.
the love of my life, the
Aww.
voice of reason, the person that deals with me and how hard-headed I am. So
You are not hard-headed, sweetheart.
I can be at times. I appreciate it. I appreciate everything you do for me.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you immensely too. But let's not make the listeners start vomiting.
I know. So I will definitely put links in the description where you can find Krystale Noir on Instagram and the Black Veils and all that information. So if you guys are interested in who she is, they'll be all there. So,
But let's get back into talking about you, because that's what the listeners are here for, and let's give the people what they want.
all right.
So where we left off, you were telling us about some of the personas that you have portrayed and performed during haunt season in some of your past haunt seasons. So we still have 2 left to talk about. So the one from Sinister Point or the second one from Sinister Point, and then Gravedigger Joe, one of my other favorites. So take it away.
So Gravedigger Joe was an old-timey gravedigger at the 1870 Haunt Manor, which was a home haunt put on by my little cousin Michael Fernandez. I shouldn't call him a kid. The young man was 15.
Young gentleman.
Is 15 years old, and he was inspired to build a haunt by just going to Midsummer Scream 2019. And he's like, I'm going to do a home haunt. He texted me.
Amazing.
First, he just wanted to be a slider, and he went and practice on his own. He made his own, like his clacker gloves, his knee pads. I forget what the shoes are called. He did everything. He made his own gear, researched everything on YouTube, and he was like, practice sliding at the high school behind his house. Then out of nowhere, he's like, I'm going to build a home haunt. I'm like, okay.
That's so awesome.
And he just did it. Just minimal resources. Hardly took any donations from people. I helped him out a little bit. And we were standing there. I'm like, well, so what's the concept of your haunt going to be? And he's like, I want to do something like an old Victorian home or like an old mansion. The address of the house is 1870. I'm like, I said, what if we call it 1870 Haunt Manor? And he's like, he's all fucking love it.
Brilliant.
And then we just started developing a backstory. The story was, this rich man and so forth married a single mom with 2 kids, and something with demons and all that, and just it developed over time. Then he's like, can you work it? So between working Dark Harbor and doing my own thing, the last weekend of haunt at Dark Harbor, I said, hey, I'm not working the rest of the season. I'm done. And I went to work at the 30th and the 31st. I was there. Yes,
you were there for Mischief Night and then Halloween Night.
True. And I played Gravedigger Joe. He came up with the concept. He's like, you're going to be an old-timey gravedigger. You're going to be in the yard display, and then I'm going to have you inside the maze as well. So we just like, what do you want to dress? He's like, just wear like a landscaper, wear like a jumpsuit. I'm like, what about like coveralls and flannel? And like an old, like kind of like it's not a derby. It's more of like a how would you describe that hat?
I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue of what you call that hat, but I cannot think of the name for the life of me.
It's like I would hate to you would see like an old-fashioned like cab driver, or like the kid on the corner selling papers in the 20s, that type of hat.
Yeah.
Like a Buster Brown hat. And just like a flannel. And again, my friend Jessica, the amazing makeup artist, I was like, hey, just make typical haunt makeup, ghoul, high definitions, whatever. Threw in the contacts, threw in the fangs. And I was just this old gravedigger. And again, I love to talk shit to people. And I was out there just digging. And whenever someone walked up, I would like to say whatever I said. And then as soon as they entered the maze, I had to run from the graveyard inside my little scare zone, little boo box, and scare the hell out of people. That was fun, like working, 40-some-year-old man working a home haunt with some high school kids. That was just fun, and giving people a hard time. And you came by with some friends.
Yes, I did. I had to come by and show some support. It was awesome.
It was fun, and I was really impressed how much he completed on his own, and with the music and lighting and decor and just the concept, and there were people screaming.
He did an amazing job.
you should see what he's doing this year.
He's inspiring.
He's just, he's just, oh my God. It's going to be twice as big, I think, this year. There's going to be more production value as far as like practical effects and like special effects and electronics and just, yeah, he's just,
I don't have a doubt in my mind he's going to blow our minds.
and just, he's like, yeah, he's building me a completely new area just for Gravedigger Joe. He's going to have his own section in the maze.
So cool.
And I was just like, he's like, you're going to have your own fog scent, your own music. You're going to have this, you're going to have that. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. And I'm proud of him. And just, he's only 6. He just turned 16.
Aww.
All he wanted was money for his birthday, so he could go towards the fun of the haunt. So
that's awesome. That's amazing. I'm really excited. I mean, I already know this, but I'm sure your listeners will be really excited to know that Gravedigger Joe is going to be resurrected.
Yeah, he's also going to be resurrected like for the 1870 Haunt Manor, and also unofficially he's going to make an appearance at the Hall of Shadows with the Whole House Haunt yard display.
Amazing. So we used to see him twice this year.
Which will be fun.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, bring your side.
Disclaimer, ladies, Gravedigger Joe has a gravedigger hoe. So stand back. I have a shovel over my arm.
he's
I have a hoe over my arm.
he's more on the creepier side. And he's a little more sinister.
I feel like he's a little bit more approachable though too.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's a little more approachable, and then he scares you and then you jump back.
Maybe for you, yeah. But I think he's more like, I picture a vibe like a Crypt Keeper vibe. Mm-hmm. Like he's there to tell a story, but he's baiting you. Like, hey, come listen to the story. Go see what's inside. And once you're inside, you're stuck. He wants you to go into the man. So
that's where the approachable comes in though. She's like, okay, I'll go in.
I'll go check it out. So the backstory in him, excuse me as I drink water. He was like the groundskeeper / like handyman for the manor. So he's undead. He's attached to the property. So not cursed, but he's attached to the property. He can never leave, but it's comfortable. It's comfortable to him. Like he's like the gatekeeper. Mm-hmm. So his job is pretty much to maintain the property, but also his job is to bring people into the house, into the manor.
Lure him in.
Pretty much. So every All Hallows Eve, the bride of the story, the background of the story, she rises from the dead with her children. Mm-hmm. And they're looking for, I forgot the name of the man. They're looking for him because he obviously murdered them. And there's a reason why he murdered them. There's something to do with demons and possession, whatever. So the one who's like the gatekeeper or the keeper of the grounds is Gravedigger Joe. And he's the one like, yeah, come check it out. Or, he's the one baiting people with his somewhat, ghoulish charm. Because he wants people to come in because they need fresh souls to come into the house. And he wants them once you enter the manor, there's no way you can escape. So he's very kind of friendly, maybe a little creepier, like the campy. But then once you get into the maze, he wants to make sure you don't get out. So, yeah. So I feel like he's a little more sinister. Like it's a little more, he's a little more devious compared to like the chef was just cannibalistic and wanted to kill you. Yeah. And then
and security guard kind of flipped the switch, so there was a little bit of both.
He was a little more chaotic. I think he was like just he already turned. He was already evil as it is, just being possessed by the demon, just his true inner self came out.
Yeah.
Like that was his true colors, and he's just like, yeah, this is who I am. I'm just an evil. Or when I played it straight, he realized, hey, this is the one thing I can redeem myself with. Let me help these people get out of the maze before it's too late.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's the way I looked at it. Because like it was hard, like being that evil monster sometimes. I'm like, okay, let me just play the hero and catch a break.
Yeah.
Or I saw little kids, they were terrified.
Oh.
One kid described it to me like this. He's like, and some other had some adults too. They're like, when we got to your area, I'm going back to the sinister point, the scary place. I was like the segment video, the segment part, like in Resident Evil, like is like the storyline you're watching like a video before you have to continue on in the game. Mm-hmm. It was like the break. They're like, oh, he's here to help us, and like, but I'm leading them off into like the maze, like for them to continue to get fucked with. So this weird little kid was like, this is like a video game. You're like the break. You're like the hero of the video game. That was kind of cool. Some kids. Little kids were like, they had serious faces. I'm like, you gotta hurry, get out before the demon gets you. And they were like running, all serious. I'm like, go, hurry. They're all like, you're not coming with us? And I'm like, no, I gotta stay. And I'm like, I can't go with you. I'm working. It's like,
I'm like, I'll stay in this room with you, handsome. Where do you get your haircut, by the way?
So that was fun. But with Gravedigger Joe, I think he's a little more sinister and evil, and he's devious. He's setting you up so that you don't escape the manor. Because there's something dark in the manor. So it's like that haunted house, like in your neighborhood, like you dare each other to go into. And there's like some legend or lore behind that story. So there's like the creepy old groundskeeper Willie or whatever. That's what Gravedigger Joe is. It's just like there's this creepy old guy who takes care of this house. And for some reason, he's always out there on Halloween night. And he's like, yeah, come in, check it out. You're more than welcome to go in. And like, you go in and you're stuck in there. So
that's a great storyline.
Yeah. And we developed it over time. And he's like, yeah, whatever you want to do. Michael's like, do it. And he loved the makeup. So
yeah.
Like,
cool that they gave you that creative freedom because you already have, a little bit of a haunt history going for you. So it's awesome that you got to utilize that and then come together. Excuse me. Sorry, you get me a little tongue-tied over here. So I think it's great that you guys were able to come together creatively and create this awesome character that is, you have a lot, but that's also another favorite of mine. So
I love that creative freedom. Not necessarily control, but that creative freedom to develop, obviously with approval. It technically was his haunt.
It is, yeah, absolutely.
Same with Sinister Point, the guard. I was like, hey, can I do this? Hey, they're, yeah, sure.
You got to pay that respect, and that's awesome.
And I love that having that creative freedom to develop the character over time and try different things with different guests. Maybe that didn't work with this person. Some people like me, I like details. I like the facades and decor and whatnot. Or like the people that could engulf you into their story and create immersion. Some people are like so terrified, like, I just want to get the fuck out. And I'm like, okay, I'll just yell at you. But there's people like you talk to them and you see they're captivated and you see in their eyes. And I'm like, I can't help from smiling. So the smile has to go to like a maniacal grin. Or if I start laughing, I have to make it like a creepy laugh because I don't want to break character.
You don't want to break character? Yeah.
So you see them like they're hanging on every word you say. And I'm like, oh, this person loves what I'm saying. And I'm like, you're never going to get out of here. And they're like, oh my God. They're like, who am I? You. And they're like, oh, he's talking to me.
Yeah.
As soon as I see someone's like engulfed or I have them hooked, I was like, okay. It's so campy. I'll do the slow walk towards them and be like, I'm so one-dimensional.
No, you're not.
And they're like, when I was the chef, people were just like, I jumped out and they're right in the perfect corner where that it's lit. That just the environmental lighting. And you see they're fucking terrified. You see the look on their face, and it was just the slow stalk, the long stride towards them, pointing the knife at them, or like calling them names, or just, one time I was like, everyone leave them, but not you. But I had those tokens we were giving out in Dark Harbor, and when this guy was shitting himself, and I'm like, you can't leave yet. And I'm like, come here. Let me see your hand. He didn't want to give me his hand, and I said, open your hand. And I went up to him and I handed him the token. Then I put my finger to my mouth. I went, shh. And he's like, oh my God, thank you, chef. I'm like, get out of here. And that was cool because he's always going to remember that.
Yeah. They gave out the tokens to people that were going through the mazes. And weren't the tokens, did they gain you access to the speakeasy bars that were at Dark Harbor?
Supposedly the tokens were access to the secret bars. I heard they did that in 2018. For 2019, I think it was more just of novelty.
Mm-hmm. No, they still had them.
They did?
Because we were trying to get them, and we failed miserably.
They gave me a couple, and I gave them to some people that deserved them. And all night, they were, you got any tokens? Chef, you got any tokens? I was like, where's the secret bar? Well, it's down those stairs. But it's the way to get out of the maze. They're like, oh, and people believe me. So.
Yeah.
But just when people are captivated, or you see they're engulfed in the immersion, or they forget where you're at. There's been times I've gone to mazes, and I'm so just overwhelmed with the details and everything, or the immersion and characters creating. You forget you're in a maze. I forget like I'm in Knott's, or I forget I'm like at the hayride, and you get lost in the moment. And to me, that's what I love. Like I love seeing people get lost, or whatever I'm creating or saying. It's like they're lost in the moment, and they're enjoying the time of their lives, and they're always going to remember that. Like the little kids that they're like, this is a video game. Oh my God, it's like Resident Evil. And I'm like, I try not to smile. I'm like, hurry, you gotta get out, hurry.
That's so
I was
cool.
like, help your dad, help him get out.
So neat.
Yeah, that was fun.
Because you're giving them that personal experience. So, they're paying to be at this haunt and you're taking it up a notch because you're giving them that personal experience. When you give them that one-liner that's just, geared toward them, it's a little bit more customized and personal, and it definitely leaves more of a lasting impression. So
exactly.
Chef kisses to you. Another pun intended. Mwah, mwah. Do you have one more character to tell us about? There's another Sinister Point character, so fill us in.
It was generic character. So Sinister Point did an attraction that was a scavenger hunt / open range haunt. So we just played like these characters from like a different portal or a different dimension, and which was cool because I had like it was like this distorted mask. I couldn't even describe what it looked like. It just looked like a kind of like a demon, and he had like hay for hair, and we just had like generic cloaks, like brown tethered cloaks.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did over time is just there was like random pieces of like burlap on the floor, or like they call it the spooky cloth, or it's beef cloth. I tied it to like my wrists, my elbows. I tied it around my neck. And I had a lantern. I had just like a lantern. It was like an LED candle. I started tying pieces around the lantern. I just walked around in the maze looking like the riverman from the River Styx, like the Greek mythology, or like a storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a random character. Just didn't really have a name. But just since everyone's like, dude, you're tall and you stick out, just do that. And it looks creepy.
Perfect.
Looks creepy from far away, but I was only there 2 days, and within those 2 days, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna add this to my costume. Okay, I'll do this instead. I won't scare people. I'll mislead them. I'll like lead them into the fog. People like come up to me because they hand you maps, and since it's open range, you can go wherever direction you wanted to go. So people saw me where I was like, motion to like, come here, I'll help you with my hand.
Yeah.
And they're like, do you know where this is at? And I look at the map, and I'd look at them, and look at the map again, and look at them. And I'd point like in the darkest, deepest hole that we had that was foggy. And I'd tell them, it's over there. And they're, are you sure? And I would just point over there, and I'm misleading them on purpose. Or we had like this creepy church, which I always kind of hung on there a little bit. And there was split curtains, and I would come through with a lantern first through the curtains, and people were like, "Oh my god!" And they run out. I love that, but that was fun because I was only there 2 days. I was there November 1st and 2nd. It just was this unknown character. I'm like, if I would have been there the whole entire time, I would have developed that character so much over the entire time they did haunt. That would have been fun, but yeah, he didn't really have like a template or like a stamp like the chef or like as Gravedigger Joe or like the security guard. It was just like this generic demon like everyone else, and like some people had different masks and different props and whatnot. Mine was just, I just kind of roamed around and just misguiding people. So, but yeah, that was the handful of characters I played in 2019. So.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing some of those come back,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe some of the ones you don't expect to come back will, and you get to branch off on them more, and then, maybe we'll have some new ones come up. Question that I do have is, what is your all-time favorite scare that you performed on a person or a group of people, and why? What, like, all-time favorite one? Shot of the cannon. Go.
All-time favorite scare was the security guard when I did the vomit gag. I would take bottles of water and add food coloring, and I did like a crimson red for blood, a really dark green, and then like a mystery color that always looked black. And I would stand there as the guests were coming down my hallway, and I would literally just projectile vomit on a white wall, and people would either ran past me or they just hit the floor and they didn't want to continue.
Ew, gross.
One guy's like, this guy just threw up, and they're like, or the crowd would go, oh, and like all unison, they'd be like, oh my god. Just that to me was the ultimate, because it's like they didn't know what to expect. Yeah, I could have yelled at them and jumped down like, but to me, projectile vomit and go and like hunch over and be like, what are you doing back here? Or like I would have it go through the fingers, like in my hands.
Yeah.
Or just like I would spit on the floor. And I would be like, who wants to give me a kiss? If I was a demon possessed, or just like, what are you doing back here? I'm like, I don't feel so good. I'm like, I think the vomit gag was probably the best. A B celebrity, Andy Dick, the comedian, I got him with it. And
yeah. All right.
And didn't pin him against the wall, but I got close to him after, and I'm like, "Where are you going, Andy?" And he was so offended. And I told him, "You better run, chicken legs." And he got mad because I told him that. But yeah,
that sounds awesome.
The vomit gag I did at Scary Place in 2018 as a security guard. Yeah,
that sounds super fun. I feel like, I didn't even get to see that scare, and I feel like that would have shook me up and grossed me out in the best way possible.
I had one person almost throw up from it, and then I felt so bad. Then I started gagging because them dry heaving got me to dry heave. I'm like, "Are you okay?" And she turned pale, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I had like spare regular bottles of water. I'm like, "Here's some water," and I felt bad.
Oh, that's how you know you did a really good, spectacular job.
Some people hated it. It was gross because the walls were black. The walls were just pale white, and so when I project out red, it looks like I'm throwing up blood.
Ooh.
And then I would go like just embellish like the noise of me gagging.
Yeah.
And I purposely would make sure I try to spit it as high as I could.
Yeah.
So
give it some distance, little arch to it.
So it hit the wall high and you run. But if you paid attention, you'd see the stains in the wall already.
Yeah.
So like I noticed the stains like on the carpet. I noticed the stains like on the wall. So I'm like, well, I've been doing it on the carpet a lot. It's getting look like a tie-dye shirt.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the wall and had a mouthful of like food coloring. And then another scare actress, she's a friend out, Lee, she came out and she peeked through the curtain, and I put my hand up like, "Hold on a sec." And I'm like, "Watch." And I went, "Ugh." She's like, "That's fucking gross." She's like, "Keep doing it every time." I'm, "Okay, cool." But to answer your question, my best scare is when I did the vomit gag on people.
I gather when people see us in public and we're holding hands and canoodling, that's exactly the vomit sound. And
like, that couple kissing.
All right. So, out of curiosity, is there another creepy creature crawling his way out this season? Can we hear a sneak peek or get a brief bio without fully unmasking the villain, or is this completely confidential?
So one character was the Phantom Gentleman, which was the character, the guy I played in our photo shoot. Mm-hmm. For those at home that don't know, myself and Krista here, the love of my life, we did a couples photo shoot for my birthday / Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. And we played old Victorian vampires. And we did a photo shoot at Wonderland Studios here in Anaheim. And again, Jessica did amazing makeup and
amazing.
I had so much fun. Eric Anderson was an amazing photographer as well. Matter of fact, I'll put his link. I'll put Jessica's link and his link in the description.
Yeah, plug him in.
And he was just like a random old Victorian gentleman vampire that probably got turned in maybe that era. And doesn't really have a backstory. It's just I just pictured him being like this. He still has very humanistic characteristics. He's still a gentleman. He's still very refined and just whatnot. Even though he's a vampire, like he's still like there's a picture of me kissing your hand and tipping my hat and whatnot.
He's a gentleman.
Still a gentleman, but he'll rip your heart out and bite you in the neck. Another character without going into too much detail is Otis Blackburn, and he's an old-timey monster hunter with another character that I'm developing with a friend, and not to give too much, but it's going to be an old picture like the X-Files, but like an old-time London.
Awesome. Wicked.
So it's going to be kind of like a hulking character that's like the muscle, and his partner is more like the brain and scientist, and they go investigate random cases for the local law enforcement, like paranormal cases. So I think those are the two without giving too much information. I'm looking forward to it. I gotta work on my British accent. It's like so because obviously the two characters they're refined gentlemen from like old London. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, I've gotten to meet the Phantom Gentleman and
yes.
Have a love affair with him, and then I'm anxious to get to see Otis Blackburn. Well, thanks for sharing those little sneak previews with us.
You want to share a story? So after the photo shoot, what did we do, you and me?
So naturally, after you get into, monster makeup and you have, prosthetic teeth in and, contacts, naturally what you want to do after a photo shoot is get hot wings, buffalo wings.
And so where did we go and what happened?
Wingstop. So after the photo shoot, we stopped at Wingstop naturally, and we were still full in our full getup, blood dripping down our mouth, down my chest, on his shirt. Roll up into Wingstop, ready to grub, and we're taking our food for takeout. And we got looked at like we were crazy people because this is in the middle of February.
Nobody smiled. Nobody was like, "That is so cool." Everyone was like, "What the F?"
Yeah.
What the girl behind the counter?
The girl that helped us, she mouthed, and I usually can't read lips well. I'm terrible at it. So don't ever try it with me. I'm going to fail miserably and call you out. She was like, "What the hell?" And I was like, "Oh." And then they said, they're like, "Oh, is anyone here for takeout?" We walk on over, all proud. And they're like, "What are you supposed to be?" And we're like, "Oh, we just did a photo shoot," and they lightened up a little bit.
They changed their mood. There was people in that dining room who were like disgusted. And then people were like, "What the hell?" Because the makeup is fucking gnarly. It's just detailed, and we had blood on us.
We looked amazing. We looked wicked cool.
What was the one thing you said when we got our order?
Well, she was reading back our order to confirm what we ordered, and we go hard. We got 30 wings, not gonna lie. Stand strong, and no shame in my game. And she was like, reading back her order, and I think we ordered like lemon pepper and traditional buffalo hot, and I clarified, I'm like, no garlic. And they just like froze up, and they're like, "There's no garlic." And we're like, "We're just kidding. We're just kidding."
They lightened up. The mood lightened up a little bit. So that was fun. That was just funny. And then walking through the parking lot. The parking lot shared with a Target, and people were like,
and a Dunkin' Donuts.
Donuts.
Don't you forget.
And people were just like, "What the hell?" And that was fun.
Yeah, that was good times.
So you could definitely see those pictures of both our Instagram profiles. So that was a fun experience too. So that was the Phantom Gentleman. And eventually Otis Blackburn will be maybe sometime this year, next year. That will be another photo shoot with a friend. And we've already developed a backstory and all kinds of crazy details. So,
well, we look forward to it.
Okay.
So speaking of a lot of fun, this was very fun.
Mm-hmm.
I hope your listeners got what they wanted and they got to know Rick Creeper 11 a lot more personally.
Mm-hmm.
I know you a lot, so I'm glad they got to get to know you too. Jeez, can we edit that out? You got me out looking at you, and you're just so handsome. You make me lose my wording. So next up, I have a quick game of this or that trick or treat edition for you.
Okay.
Should we get right into it, or do we need a quick little break?
How about we take a quick little break?
Hey, I got you a little tongue-tied.
You just tongue-tied yourself.
Tongue-tied.
Tongue-tied.
Tongue-tied. Putty cat.
How about we take a quick little break? So obviously we need it. And we'll come back to those questions about that.
Sounds great.
All right, guys, we'll be right back.
And we're back. This is Rick Creeper 11 here with Krystale Noir.
I don't sound like that, dude. You always make fun of my voice. You're like Rick Creeper 11. Well, I know I sound so, God, what is it? I'm monotone sometimes. It's like, geez.
Okay, so since I didn't do it justice, can you intro us back in?
Okay, let me
take it away.
I learned from Emmanuel Menji that's actually bad for your voice to clear your throat like that. He told me because he learned that from his voiceover school. I was like, yeah, don't do that. So if I were to do an intro, I'd probably do something like, okay, guys, we're back. This is episode 7 with the Creepcast. We're your host, Rick Creeper 11. I'm here with my very special guest, Krystale Ortiz, also known as Krystale Noir. You can find her on Instagram under Krystale Noir. Also, you can find her in the Black Veils group. I will definitely put the links in the descriptions. This is episode 7, and thank you for tuning in. Some cheesy.
Brava. Alrighty. So for our last part of your interview,
yes, dear,
I have composed a game of this or that trick or treat edition for you, Rick Creeper. Okay. So I'm gonna shoot out two things and you're going to pick one or the other. And this is supposed to be like thinking off the top of your head what comes to mind first. So we'll get going. You ready?
Yes.
All right. So the first one, let's do it. Supernatural movies or slasher movies? Go.
Supernatural, because the one thing that creeps me out is anything related to like religion or like demons or spirits. Slasher I could run from. The only slasher that creeps me out is Michael, but at the same time I have this weird fixation of him. Supernatural is just anything but ghosts, demons, and religion, like The Exorcist or The Omen. I don't like that. That's fucking creepy. Yeah.
Alrighty. Would you prefer to bottle feed a zombie or donate blood to a vampire?
I think bottle feed a zombie because I could definitely like distract him and maybe kill him, and it'd be easier to wipe him out. The vampire would be a little harder because they could charm you, or like they could put a so in Dungeons and Dragons they call it charm. In True Blood they called it glamour, right?
Glamour, or they call it trance, charm.
So maybe let's say he charms me and I have to, he forces me to do that. The zombie's mindless; it just wants to be fed. So let's say I distract the zombie, I hit him with a fucking hammer.
I mean, if you're thinking bottle feed a zombie, chances are it could be a baby.
It's still a zombie. It's gonna grow up to be a zombie.
Alrighty. Here's a real brain buster for you. Pumpkin Reese's or candy corn?
I love my candy corn. I can only eat it during Halloween. But then pumpkin Reese's, so good. Candy corn, because you can have Reese's year round, and candy corn you only have during Halloween. Okay.
Creepy corn maze or escape room?
Ooh, creepy corn maze. I did a cornstalk maze back in 2017 at the hayride, which to me was probably the best year because the hayride actually stopped. You got off the tractors, the trailers, and they made you go through a cornstalk maze.
Wicked.
And that was so effing cool. The creepiest thing, excuse me, about that, those two little girls, and obviously they're of age, dressed identical, baby doll dresses, pigtails. They were playing Ring Around the Rosie, and they were singing a uniform. They're like, "Come play with us," and they chased me. They chased me the quarter of the maze. I'm like, "Hey, little girls!" Again, besides like demons and like religion and ghosts, the other thing that creeps me out is like little girls. Like the female scare actors, I do not like the female scare actors.
So the little girls had you running like a little girl.
Pretty much. I made the mistake last year, and Knott's inside the in-depths maze. There's a scene where there's a part when you go into like a pirate ship, and I said it out loud and stupid. I'm like, why is there so many female actors in here, scare actors? And I made a face like, ugh. They looked at me and they looked at each other and like nodded at each other, and they like attacked me and they chased me like threat.
Oh, you ate your words. You swallowed your words.
Yeah, I made a mistake. So.
Okay. Creepy corn maze. I'm from the East Coast. I know corn mazes. They're badass.
And it's a different environment because you're outdoors. That's what I love about the hayride, because it's outdoors. You could use the elements. You could use the cold. Fog machines look denser when it's cold outside. Mm-hmm. So if it's cold out and you have those fogs going, it's going to linger in the air.
There's an unknown factor in those corn stalks too. It's creepy.
Yep. I dug it.
All right. Next one. Apple pie or pumpkin pie?
Oh, what about cherry pie? That's my favorite. There you go.
Hey, this is a PG-13 podcast.
I'm going to say apple pie. I don't just, to me, it's...
You don't have to explain. It's pie. Pie is pie, baby.
Just apple pie. Next question.
Get a massage from Freddy Krueger or go on a swim with Jason Voorhees?
I say go on a swim. I used to love to swim when I was a kid, and I was an advocate swimmer, and I was pretty fast. So if I needed to get away, I think I could get away from it.
I'm really good at the breaststroke. Alrighty, next one. Pumpkin beer or spiked cider?
Pumpkin beer. Spiked cider, it's just, to me, it's just, I don't know. Is it hot or cold?
Either one.
I prefer the pumpkin beer.
Pumpkin beer?
Cold beer, pumpkin beer, yeah.
Alrighty.
Sam Adams has a nice Oktoberfest, and then it's called Shipyard. They do a pumpkin beer too. It's pretty good. And they have a cool logo. It's the rendition of like the
Headless Horseman.
Yes.
I've seen that.
So yeah. So.
Jinx, knock on wood. Chainsaw or machete?
Machete, because there's less chance for failure. Chainsaw, the chain could break, it could jam up. And plus, you had to start that thing. Machete, you could just swing and hack somebody. Yeah.
Not Scary Farm or Universal Horror Nights?
Well, that's a rough one. Because I've been going to Universal since '97. Based on the impression I got last year, which wasn't my favorite, man, that's rough.
1 hour later.
I'm going to say Knott's just because it's closer to home. Because it's closer to home. Universal, I love the production value of Universal. Their sets and everything. I mean, they have movie sets. But Knott's to me feels more like Halloween.
Okay.
Ghost Town, you see pumpkins, there's fogs, it's creepy as hell. Last year, Knott's did an amazing job. And it was probably, the last 2 years been probably my best. So, as much as I love Universal, I'm going to say Knott's.
Alrighty. And for the final final question,
Yes.
A little angel costume or a little devil costume? Wink, wink.
The devil, that's a given. So, I would say angel, because the angel could be a bad girl too.
Oh, this is not for me. This is for you.
Well, I'm just saying in general.
Well, you said bad girl.
I'm just saying in general.
I'm just kidding. Alrighty, well that wraps up the this or that trick or treat edition. So thanks for playing today.
Thank you.
Today you win a big fat nothing.
Nothing. Appreciate it. Thank you. Anything else you want to know?
No, I think this really wraps up the episode. Thanks for having me on as your interviewer, and you were fantastic, wonderful, wicked interviewee. So thank you.
Thank you. You did an amazing job, and thank you for tolerating me the last couple of months.
All in a day's work.
That was a tough question, Universal and Nas. I could go on another 30 minutes about that.
Maybe that can be another episode.
True.
Maybe you can ask your listeners on Instagram. Let's see what they say if they request it.
It's a regional thing too. I know a lot of people like Knots, and I could go on. I don't want it to be a 3-hour podcast. So that was very good questions. Thank you for everything. Thank you for allowing me to express everything about Mahan season and go into depth with the characters. It's just weird how I came into this world, into like this community, and just been, again, this 2020 will be my third year.
Mm-hmm.
And that I've been embraced by so many people and mentored and guided down the right path. And just people were just like, you've done so much since. I don't know how I stumbled into this. It's crazy. I was always like a civilian or just a fan from a distance, going to Midsummer Scream on my own, or going to Spook Show on my own, going to haunts like with whoever, friends or whatnot, and just cosplaying as Michael on my own. Now it's like I've worked at Sinister Point, I've worked at Dark Harbor, I've done multiple characters like photo shoots and Midsummer Scream and all that. It's working the Spirit Lounge. I worked Son of Monster Palooza. It's like, we became friends, and from there we started dating. Now we're official, we're a couple. It's like all this crazy things happening because this community, and
it's a wonderful thing.
It's
a spectacular thing.
More than grateful, and everyone that's embraced me and accepted me in this whole community. So I want to thank all you guys. People that supported the podcast, people supported me haunting and the projects I've done and everything. It's just crazy.
Just allowing you to be Rick Creeper 11.
Exactly. So,
well, thanks for having me on today, Rick Creeper.
Well, thank you for everything else too.
A ghoul's got to get her beauty sleep, so I'm going to sign off.
Okay.
Sweet nightmares.
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening at home. Thank you for supporting the podcast. That's all I have to say. If you guys have any questions or concerns, you can reach out to me through the questionnaire on the podcast. If not, you can message me on my Instagram as RickCreeper11, and we'll talk soon. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Take care. Bye.
You've once again barely escaped the clutches of the Creepcast with Rick Creeper. Next time, you may not be so lucky. To find out more about the Creepcast and Rick Creeper, follow Rick on Instagram at RickCreeper11. Until next time, be sure to keep that lantern light burning